Alrighty, this game seems like it could be an interesting run. Yeah, maybe I should have seen that coming, considering that this is a game that's infamous for having. That does pose a good question, however. Just what is this game about? Now, I won't be spending all my time just retelling the story, considering that roughly 85% of the game is revolved around what these two goobers do, but I can delve into some details. You play as Andrew and Ashley, trying to make the best out of a bad situation, in this case being perma-quarantined with little to no contact with the outside world. Food is running out, and you're getting desperate. The story really kicks off once the siblings witness a cultist botching up a satanic ritual. Regarding making the best out of a bad situation, holy moly, you absolutely fucked that up. You managed to spawn. Considering that most of the game revolves around it, it's fortunate that the story does have a few things going for it. It hooks you in with a flashback establishing the relationship between the two protagonists, which is not an uncommon trope, but is an effective one that tells us more about these characters. There are a few more throughout the game to further elaborate on their past, usually presented as memories so that they do not feel out of place. The game's twists are decently done, there being plenty of breadcrumbs dropped along the way to clue you in on what's going on. While this means that it did not come as a surprise when it was revealed a bit, it did not come entirely out of nowhere either. Before I continue further, I should probably address the Alabama-shaped elephant in the room. A part of the game does roll around the relationship between these two siblings. This includes both the type one would expect between an older brother and a bratty younger sister, as well as the type where one sticks their dick in the other. While the game does dedicate quite a bit of the story to it, the whole incest portion of that is probably the least important part, for the fact that Ashley is an extremely toxic, manipulative sister deserving more attention. It would at least reduce the amount of people randomly messaging you out of the blue asking what the fuck you're playing. It does delve into some supernatural and dreamy elements, which serves to keep the story interesting. In theory, the type of eerie visuals that are usually present in otherworldly encounters would serve to unsettle the player. On the topic of that, this would be a good time to talk about said visuals. I think they leave a lot to be desired. While the art in the cutscenes serves the game just fine, the game otherwise looks a little milquetoast. I was not expecting Picasso here, but games like Eve do a better job in this regard. Going back to the dream sequences, one would think that their inclusion would remove some ambiguity and subtlety from a game. After all, being stuck in a place resembling purgatory to deal with your demons is not exactly subtle. Considering the game's crass humor, however, this is not the case. The game's humor can be best described as polarizing. While I personally liked it, with it effectively contrasting the game's relatively serious subject matter, it's understandable why some people might see it as just a little too much. You are likely to outgrow this type of humor by your 30s. Without further spoiling the game, there is not much else to talk about, especially as half of the game is not out yet. My current verdict on the game is this. If you are in the mood for an RPG Maker game revolved around a decent story and crass humor, then this will be right up your alley. Are you expecting me to say something? Get out.